Hello everybody, Terrence Popp here from Redonkulas.com with another episode from the Lair. And I got a lot of flack over that 911 Lair episode I did. A lot of people call me a truther and shit. Listen, you guys know me. My mind doesn't shut off ever, and it goes to some pretty dark corners. And if there are valid questions to be asked, you know I'm going to ask them. If it's right, wrong, if it hurts your feelings, I don't really care. I can't help it. But I had a communication with an individual in regards to the 911 thing that went down. And this particular individual worked at a high level with the United States Army and speaks like 6 different languages. Most of them are Oriental dialects, reads and writes Chinese, and Korean, can converse in Japanese and some other of those weird dialects. He's a language guru, but apparently because Seoul is under constant attack, it came up in one of the intel briefings. Questions were asked in regards to any of these big buildings were to get hit that couldn't be evacuated, and you were afraid they were going to fall over into other buildings and cause a domino effect with all kinds of crazy chaos going on. And apparently over there, they already have a lot of these big buildings pre-rigged with thermite and some explosives to bring the buildings down in their own footprint. So basically what they're saying is they would rather lose the whole building and everyone inside the building than have the building fall down and cause even way more, carnage and destruction. Okay, now this is South Korea. They didn't do this on their own. Somebody probably showed them how to do it, because a lot of those other nations below us usually follow our example. And the 911 buildings, the trade towers, were hit with a terrorist attack, I believe 8 years prior to that. I don't have to check the dates, where they set off a bomb in the basement. This is purely conjecture here, but maybe the same thing was being done with the buildings in and around the 911 towers, the World Trade Center. And somebody made the call to pull a pin and bring the buildings down because they were afraid they were going to fall over and knock over a bunch of other buildings and cause all kinds of even way more chaos. That is a little more understandable, and they just don't want to talk about it because, there's a lot of liability issues, and no matter how that whole scenario plays out, people die and get hurt is a horrible fucking thing. But that would go a long way to explaining the molten metal, the thermite, and all other bullshit. Maybe one day we'll find that out. Maybe we won't. But there's a lot of suspicious shit that went down. And, I've been in this game long enough to realize when they're only telling me 3 of the 5 cards they have in their hand, I can tell. Okay, I've been getting a lot of comments in regards to my videos, and people would like to see them, on, I don't know, with Tommy Sotomayor, on the Lycus show, and some other shows out there. Send my videos to these people and bombard them, and maybe they'll call me up and we can do an interview. That'd be cool. I should have a lot more free time come 6 to 8 months from now, since, I'll probably be unemployed. And looking for my next gig. So if it's doing something like this that I love doing and it's helping me out and helping you out, then it's a win-win for everybody. Okay, number 3. This is from obviously a woman who is very upset. It's a pretty long dialogue, and I'm not going to read the whole thing because this woman's obviously fucked in the head. She's got a penis sticking out of her ear. But this part here, you need to hear this. Quote,
"Abortion is not murder. It's a woman's choice, plain and simple."
Correct me if I'm wrong, but we've sent probes to Venus and Mars. We put one in Jupiter. We're going all over the solar system looking for one little microscopic cell that divides on its own and is basically life. So if there's a bundle of cells growing up in your body that's going to grow into an independent person, and you decide because it's your body and your choice that you want to terminate that, well, there's a lot of gray area in there, but at the end of the day, in my opinion, it's murder. Granted, there are extenuating circumstances, rape, incest, medical reasons. A lot of women get tubular pregnancies or, all kinds of crazy ass shit goes down in that waxworks. And shit happens. I understand that. But this woman, she's got some issues up in her brain pan, and she probably done this procedure once or twice, and it's probably getting to her. So it is what it is, because that which weighs an ounce today weighs a ton tomorrow. Don't be the person hauling around a ton, just saying.
Mr. Popp, seems like you're pretty cool with the Western society and culture being crushed and doomed to fail.
Yes, you are correct. Now, again, in my book I mentioned just because it's not your religion does not mean it's not wise. And I believe there's a few phrases in the King James Bible which, I'm not really a big fan of, because it's basically, some king somewhere and a pope decided what you can and cannot read in regards to the Lord. That's just my opinion. But it says in there that a house divided will not stand. And then when you basically have the men doing all of the grunt work, keeping the society running, they have the females over here making them look stupid, punishing them in court, basically accusing them of all these horrible fucking crimes that they've never done, i.e. everyone's a rapist, blah, blah, blah. It's just a matter of time before that falls down like dominoes, and, do I want it to happen? No, not in my lifetime, but the way I'm looking at it, it's probably going to go down. We're in a full wobble, and sooner or later it's going to topple over. Okay, number 5. Here we go.
I'm divorced and so is my sister. The men of today are weak, and you are warping their minds with your crazy ass philosophy. This only adds to the madness. Can you please stop?
No, not stopping. You can look at the stats, numbers don't lie. You can have all your anecdotal stories that you want. But if you just Google who files for divorce, 65 to 75% of the time it's the woman. A lot of these women push for the marriage, they push for the divorce. They're getting married later, so there's less time to recover from that. So, say you get married at 26, you're married for 6 to 7 years. Typically, most marriages end by 7 or 8. You're 34. That's not a lot of time to maneuver before you hit that wall. I mean, some women divorce and they're already there and they just don't know it. As in regards to my philosophy warping people's minds, I'm just telling them the fucking truth. These are valid observations. And if you don't fucking like it, I don't fucking care. Okay? Kiss my goddamn ass. Boom.
Mr. Popp, I've been waiting diligently for your revenge porn video. When are you going to do it?
Well, I have completed all of the research. It's roughly 20 points long. There's a lot of crazy laws out there, and more of them are coming out of the books every day. Yeah, so I'm going to talk you through, what it is, what states have laws against it, what are some of the max penalties, and then some of the reasons why it takes place, and then how to get away with it if you do decide to do that shit. I'm sure if you do decide to do that shit, you probably have good reason. But be warned, people get pretty pissed off about that, and it looks like the feminist society is ramping up a huge dildo to ram up your ass.
See, Popp, I love feminist utopia, but I doubt it will ever come to pass.
Okay, now, if you weren't paying attention to the feminist utopia, a lot of that shit is already happening. Alright, for instance, there's a lot of men out there who are paying for kids that are not theirs. They were supposedly served, and the court papers were sent to another place or another house where the guy never lived. Hell, some of these guys were in fucking jail, where all of their mail is monitored, and they're still not able to get out from underneath this bullshit. So there's a lot of crap that's going on that's already it's already happening in a lot of cases, and it's only gonna get fucking worse. That's it. It's only gonna get worse until it fucking blows up in everyone's faces. Okay, here, this just feeds right into number 7. How do you suggest we fight against a system that, in my opinion, is discriminatory towards men and obviously one-sided? Right now, a lot of men are fighting against this with the MGTOW philosophy and the Red Pill philosophy. And, basically we've got, billions of young men out there who are becoming individual Gandhis. All right, they're not bothering to preach to other people on what they should or shouldn't do. They're just gathering up their toys, and they're fucking taking off. And when enough men decide they're no longer going to pay into the system, they're not going to bust their ass making all kinds of money, they're just going to take care of numero uno, which is themselves, because nobody else is going to do it for you. And sure as shit, the society and culture is not going to do it for you, and the government fucking hates your guts, because it's run by women. So when enough of these dudes walk off the reservation, I mean, men do all the dirty work, they pay most of the taxes, they fight the wars, they do most of the police jobs and heavy lifting. And when that fucking stops, it's going to get really ugly out there for a lot of people. And getting it to fix is probably not going to be an easy thing, because it took us 50 years plus to get into this predicament. It's going to probably take that long to get us out. And by the time we do, everyone will be praying to Allah. Just saying. All right, this is another woman here. There's another longer email. It was kind of scathing. It's kind of funny. But here's the basic gist of what she wanted to tell me.
I can't not understand why you don't see the gender pay gap. For God's sake, President Obama talked about it in some of his speeches and addresses.
All right, just because he talked about it doesn't make it true. I think this has been debunked more times by legitimate economists and financial people out there that this is absolutely fucking stupid. And apparently you can't understand normal thinkers out there. You can't balance your checkbook. You don't want to listen to logic and reason. You have no concept of economics. So let me just boil it down to you like this. Let's just say it is 22 cents on the dollar. Hell, let's just make it an even 25 cents. Men are making 25 cents more than you, or you're making 25 cents less than a man. Okay, for the so-called same work. Yeah, right. Now, I believe, depending upon what study you look at, 92 to 96% of all workforce fatalities are men. So, basically, you can thank us. We're only taking a quarter of your money, and we're taking up almost all of the fucking death. So you're welcome. So when you're ready to fill half the coffins of all the workplace deaths in the annual period, then we'll give you your goddamn quarterback, and until then, shut the fuck up. Boom, beer me. Mr. Popp. No, when did I become a Mr.? Just call me Popp.
Popp, I'm going to college, and from the way I see it, it's almost exactly like your feminist utopia. Can you talk about that?
Yes, I believe I've talked about this in several of my videos. Basically, say for instance, you're not even on college campus grounds. You get into a row or a romp with a chick off the premises. You bang her. She accuses you of rape. The cops investigate. You're found not guilty because lack of evidence or there was a video or some other extenuating circumstances pop up, and the guy gets off the hook because, you know, that's the way it is. You're basically innocent until proven guilty, and if the police don't have enough evidence, they're not going to pursue it. Then you turn around, you go back to college. Now, this didn't even take place on the grounds of the school, and you bitch to them. Okay, so now they have authority to basically kick you the fuck out of college, ruin your academic career, and probably the rest of your life. Based on her word, you can't bring any evidence in, you can't make any allegations, you basically just got to sit there and get fucking railroaded. So yeah, you are correct, that is insane. There's a lot of other craziness that goes on, and it's not going to change until some of these men decide they're going to sue the goddamn shit out of these fucking colleges for this bullshit. Because this Title IX craziness has basically started a national witch hunt for dudes. I mean, 66% of the people in college or graduating from college are already women. I mean, what's going to fucking happen when that's 75%? Then it's going to radically go down from there. I mean, I can see it becoming an 85-15 thing probably the next 20 fucking years. Men are just going to say, fuck it, this is insane. It's not worth the headache. It's not worth the cost. You know, fuck this shit. I'm off the fucking reservation. All right, that's it for I got my 10 points in for the night. I'm a little worked up here. Still kind of upset about the whole 9/11 thing, you know. My mind goes in all kinds of horrid places. Please don't think ill of me, but it's just the way I operate now. Again, you know, don't drink and drive, don't drink and swim, wear a rubber ticket with you. If you fight, don't go to the ground. And if you have to fight a woman, make sure you end it quickly and be on your way. Talk to you later.